Hello, everyone. God, weeks go fast, days go fast when you're here at the sanctuary. It is already time for the weekly wrap up this week. I first want to say thank you all so much for the warm welcome you gave my mom last week. It was so nice to have her here at the sanctuary. And so I appreciate all of you saying such nice things. It was really fun to have her here. So kind of wanted to tell you a few things going on at the sanctuary, and I know many of you have seen the promotion for the monthly Pride Decathlon, and we're going to be announcing those winners shortly if they haven't been announced yet, for the 10 people who won the photo book. So we're so thankful that many of you signed up for Monthly Pride and also increased your Monthly Pride donation to be qualified for that drawing. That monthly Pride program is our bread and butter. It's what keeps our lights on. It's sustaining funding that we know we are going to be able to do everything for the cats we need to do. So monthly Pride members, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate it, and we're always glad when we can do something fun like give the book back. So let's see. It is a beautiful day here in Minnesota. We can't believe it's been like 50 degrees. I know it's February today, but 50 degrees in January is unheard of. It is like spring here. It's a little swampy, muddy outside, but we will take it. We really, really enjoy the sun. The cats are enjoying some time outside, and so much so that we've been able to do more play dates and moves. So let's get right to it. So many of you know that the Lynx, Ripley and Miko switched spots with Bogart. And Bogart was living next to Buddy, the 20-year-old bobcat. So Ripley and Miko moved down, and I thought they'd be really petrified of Simon and Jeremy, the white tigers across the way, or Shadow. But actually, kind of what got Ripley, the female's goat, is Buddy, the bobcat. He was up at the wall with his tail twitching, you know, as bobcat growls and high-pitched screams. And Ripley just wanted to engage, and it was always interesting to see this young girl and this old bobcat, but neither one of them wanted to back down. Of course, it was safe. It's a shared wall. It has mesh. They can't get each other, and we're just going to see how the next few days go to see if they just get used to each other on that shared wall. The Lynx, who I love him so much, Miko, I always want to say Nico. You know me and my names. I want to go by all the old cats' names and not the new cats' names. But Miko, he's way more timid, doesn't want to get in Buddy's face. But he is adventuring and climbing up trees. And so all the trees he can climb are in a safe distance. But we have this one tree that is just a popple tree, and it has little teeny branches. And Elise caught him all the way up there. And even though it wasn't near a wall where he could get down, we were concerned that the branches are too thin to hold his weight and that he might fall and fall on a perch. So the facilities team went in and trimmed that trees once they were in their shift area, and then able to give them access again. And so far, no other issues. Beauty, who is across the way from them, the Eurasian lynx, is definitely interested that she has some Canada lynx across the way. Sorry, the radios are going off in the back, which is normal workday stuff. And so we also, today, since it's so nice out, as you guys know, we've been doing play dates with F1 Bengal / Asian leopard cat Fargo and Minerva, the Asian leopard cat. And so they've been doing some play dates in their rooms. It's nice enough today that Elise is doing a supervised play date with caretakers to see Minerva and Fargo in their outdoor yards. So we think they'll get along great and that they'll be able to expend energy better, but our biggest concern is that she can't get her head stuck in any of the fencing or anything where she could injure herself since she's so small. So that's what Elise is going to look for today, and then lock them in at night just for safety till we know she's growing up and can't hurt herself in some of the small spaces. On top of that, people were asking that, you know, you saw the Caracals are all merged, or Aurora, Mojave, and Amira. They're doing great, absolutely great. Hal and his siblings have settled down, so they're used to having the neighbors. And then us humans disrupted the apple cart again and moved Thane the serval over. And so Thane did pretty well. He's very confident. He kind of ran along the fence line to see neighbors Lizzie. He went over and saw the caracals on the other side, but he's doing great. He's completely living over in small cat track with the rest. So we love when we see these cats that have kind of been in their more temporary spaces get to go out and be in their free roaming areas with temperature controlled buildings. It's awesome. So the one we're kind of still waiting on is Kaya and Bogart. So they're next to each other in quarantine. They both moved there, and now we're trying to get them on a shared wall, which means one of them has to go into a crate and move again. And since they were just willing to go in the crate and ended up in a new spot, they're being a little sticklers about going in the crate. And so we're not going to force them to do that yet. We are actually going to see if one of them will walk through the guillotine system in the building and go to the next yard to see the other one on a shared wall. But we're really just going to let it go at their pace. There's no rush on this one to see if they are going to be future friends or not. And then as we announced Catio Town, we're so thankful for all of you guys that came in and did founding member pledges and things like that to help us really launch Catio Town. We'll be doing a much larger campaign in the summer where all of your gifts at different levels will really help us kind of finish that project, so stay tuned. But since we're going to have to move all the hybrids and Bengals into temporary areas for that teardown and construction, we're seeing if maybe cats that weren't great friends before will be great friends now. And so we have pulled back some of the shade cloth between Eddie and Leo and Coco and Cine to see if they really don't like each other, if they can be friends. So far, it looks like Coco, the female Savannah, is the one not so happy to see Leo next door. So I don't think there'll ever be maybe a merger there, but we're going to just kind of play it as it goes for a few days along the shared wall, and then we might start some kind of short play dates with some of the Bengal groups to see if we can get anybody merged before we move in the spring. And if not, that's okay as well. We also, as you guys know, have a lot of unsocialized and shy Bengals, including Asian leopard cats. And so when we prepare to move them to their temporary spaces during construction, we're going to use that time to also do their wellness exam for the year. Because they're hard to catch anyways, then we might as well do the wellness exam at the same time and then wake them up in their new area. So we'll keep you posted over that for the next few months. And speaking of vet days, Bengal Nala, who lives at the intern house, had her wellness exam too. As you guys know, she came to us with renal disease, and her numbers continue to climb, but she's not in renal failure yet. She's, thinner, older lady body condition, but she's still deeply loved by the interns at the intern house. And then my favorite Bengal, which I know I can't say that because I will say that about Dahlia, who's next to me right now, and Benny, who's out in the office. But Merlin, the little male Bengal, totally has my heart. He's just such a little spitfire. He had his wellness exam today, and I had an appointment here with US Bank, so I missed being able to cuddle him in the hospital, but luckily he's one that loves human attention, and I can do that outside plenty. What else has been going on? The staff has been doing amazing at keeping the buildings clean. That's even hard to do in the winters when cats like to use their indoor areas as litter boxes. They're dragging mud in. They've been doing a lot of forms of enrichment. Even some of the cats got some cow parts. We had a downed cow that was donated to us after it was processed a little bit. And true to form, Dash was a problem. As you guys know, Dash the Destroyer, he came with his name for a reason, right? Dasharoo is the one we like, and then you yell, Dash the Destroyer. Dash decided that he was going to take the hide off of it and swallow the hide in one piece. Luckily, as a tiger, he was able to digest it, but it kind of slowed a little bit his track down, and we worry about cats that can sometimes, if they swallow things too hastily, can choke. So everybody got creative of how we got Dash's toy back from him, and then watched him for a few days and gave him boneless, and he's doing well. He's really challenging the caretakers now because almost everything they recommend, I'm like, oh, we can't give that to Dash. We can't give that to Dash. And if Dash only knew that if he didn't eat everything he played with, how much more toys he could get would be wonderful. So I appreciate when the caretakers always have to work around the cat's needs and still are creative about what they can provide. And it's been muddy here, so I was laughing because Rebecca, our new animal care manager, came in, and this is the marketing mind of us, talked about, oh, these amazing footprints she saw in the habitats today and in the mud. And the first thing I do is, did you get podcastings? And of course, not, because we didn't expect mud in January, but we're already thinking about that because we have the next auction coming up next week, I believe it is. So the online auction with awesome items, not podcastings. We'll blame Rebecca for that, but we'll get more podcastings in the future to sell. I'm teasing her. She's right behind me. And then Leo the lion, as you guys know, he's always had some GI issues. Before, he's had kind of like partial bowel obstructions from fur balls, slow motility. When we were doing our rounds, so I do rounds on top of what the caretakers already do and how attentive they are. The vet does rounds, and he was looking a little taut. I wouldn't say thin or emaciated at all. I just not kind of as rotund as he used to be. But he was still wanting food, but he's on a really large amount of food for a lion. And so we upped his diet again to see if he would increase weight, and it's too soon to tell, but he's bright, alert, responsive. We're just really cautious of watching him because he is older, but so far so good. So we'll keep you posted on that. Some other things that are not as exciting for you, but super exciting for us, is we have new computers that we have to purchase. Elise came down, and other caretakers said they were down to one computer for the whole team, and I think now they're down to half a computer, if that even counts, because one's like 10 years old. So that's an investment we're making. We had Anderson Produce come and another meat delivery come and deliver a lot of pounds of meat. We just spent $6,000 for boneless here, and then I know we had 40,000 pounds of meat of venison that was purchased, and we're bringing that to the sanctuary in different shipments. We also have a freezer in Minneapolis for storage for two reasons. One is if we get a good deal, we're going to take as much food as they'll give us to save in the long run. But two, if anything ever happened to our on-site freezer, even though we have a generator and we needed an emergency supply of food, we do have a place off-site that we house as well to keep that. So that's awesome. And then if you remember all the way back to last year, Cats in Crisis campaign was last summer, and you guys helped us buy emergency equipment, the trailers, everything like that, and you helped us buy 4 big cat crates. They had still not been delivered, so I reached out to the company, and I know that it takes time to weld them. I ordered them in October. They keep telling me they're on their way, so we'll see, but I was excited to hear that they might be here, and that was just really more for our emergency response, but also we're going to be crate training because we have wellness exams again on the big cats starting in the spring, and it is just really nice to have them crate trained or come up to the fence trained, and we do refreshers going up to their exams so that their exam is less stressful for them. So, and I hear Kiara in the background. That's okay, no worries. They all want to see her. And so that's kind of what's been going on here over the last week. I know I saw Judson's live post and the media team's live post of the sunset, and that was stunning. And it has been so gorgeous here, the sunsets. It's one of those things when you have really hard days at work and hard days at anything, to see that beautiful sunset and stop. Nature has always been something that regenerates me, and so I've just been grateful to see how beautiful that is, not only in the sanctuary, but as I'm driving home at night. So stay tuned. We have Valentine's coming up, so we have some special things for you, Valentine's. Also want to let you know, Facebook has been challenging. Yes, I'm talking to you, Facebook, not Facebook fans, but we used to, as a nonprofit, be able to fundraise a lot of ways on this platform. You guys have done it. You've donated to the fundraisers, donated on the photo link, which has been amazing, donated on videos and live posts. Well, right now, Facebook is turning any video we post, usually if it's a live video or any of the kind of single videos the media team does, into what they call Facebook Reels. And those Reels are at the top of your little screen, and they're like mini videos. Think of them more like a TikTok competitor. But there's not a way for us to put donate buttons on there. So if we donate here, even our old live posts have been converted to Reels. Well, people can't donate in the future. Very frustrating for a nonprofit. We rely on donations, and we know many of you give on the Facebook platform. We also have about $5,000 waiting in income from Facebook Reels, just getting paid by Facebook for how many people are watching our Reels. But Facebook won't pay it out because their bot believes that we are in another country. So we have been working diligently, and it's just going into the chat groups and everything and getting canned responses from a robot, pretty much, is that why we can't access $5,000 that we've raised on Facebook Reels. So really frustrating. Luckily, the donations you give on Facebook are coming through to us. The cats and us are receiving it. It's where we have earned income based on how many watchers we have. So that can be challenging. Also, many of you have said you're not getting our e-newsletters or your tax receipts. Gmail and Yahoo just created a whole new thing. So if you have a Gmail or Yahoo account, they're considering most things from organizations spam. So make sure you check your junk folder, your spam folder, and a lot of it's being returned. They said that Neon, Constant Contact, MailChimp, all of those services that supply emails through nonprofits, they're working on the glitches, but technology is hard, and it goes through with all the software we use. So we'll get back, but if you ever are missing what you think is a donation or an e-news, definitely reach out. And the best way to reach out is to email info, I-N-F-O, at wildcatsanctuary.org, and we'll make sure we get you what you need. There's nothing we can do about it at this time, but just wait for the larger companies to catch up with the new kind of filter system that's going on. So again, appreciate all you guys. Can't wait to share what's coming with spring and summer. We're kind of enjoying the lull before the craziness. We're just writing down the list of what needs to be done for Catio Town just to make that happen. We've also applied for AmeriCorps. If you remember them, it was a group of kind of like America's Peace Corps group of young people that come here and work full-time 6 to 8 weeks. We won't hear if we got a team till May. So we don't know if we're going to have extra staffing yet to help with the Catio teardown and moving the Bengals, and then also finishing kind of the Bobcat areas. So the fencing company comes and puts up the walls. We can convince them to do the ceiling for us, but we have to do all the skirting along the bottom. We have to bring in the heated bungalow, the electric. We paint that. We do the kennel fronts. We have to do the chutes to the enclosures. We do the double doors, not to mention the perches and the furniture and the barrier fence around. So there's still a lot to do, even though the fence company is helping a little. So I see this project list getting so long. So AmeriCorps would be a huge help. We've also expanded what is our crew days, where we allow 6 to 8 people to come up as a team and work on a project with one of our caretakers. We usually do that 1 day a week, and sometimes we've added a couple days a week, but we're looking at doing 3 days a week while we're tearing down Catio Town. So a lot of help is going to be needed. It'll be appreciated. We're going to be reaching out to carpenters to help us build more insulated bobcat dens so that they can go in the Bengals temporary area. Just in case we have storms and things like that, we would want them definitely to have more than a dog glue. We want them to have an insulated area with flaps and straw and bedding and even a place for a heat lamp. Even though the move is during the summer, I just want them to feel really comfortable during any rainy thunderstorms and things like that. So we're also building more fire hose hammocks. Thanks for people that reached out on fire hose. We're getting some donated there as well. Who just walked away? Jackie. Jackie, don't you want to come on a live post?
Oh no.
Say hi, Jackie.
Hello.
This is what happens when you walk in the office. Are you coming to complain about me to Rebecca?
Oh yeah, that was it.
No, she was coming to complain about Rebecca and you.
So, but no, this is what I do. And he's like, you should shut your door doing live posts. And what I really like is this isn't staged. This is just me updating, amazing people like you who help us get the work done. And it's fine to see all the work go on in the background and things like that. I think I've heard a lot from our donors. They really appreciate the behind the scenes and just kind of being part of what we do on a daily basis. And so to end off today, everybody's working hard except that little girl, Dahlia. She's in her heated bed. So we will sign off for the day, but thanks everyone, and have a great rest of